Hello everyone, welcome to a game called Caves of Cud. This is a roguelike game that is actually surprisingly accessible compared to other games in the genre. I have played Dwarf Fortress, and I have been to the edge of the abyss and looked in. And Dwarf Fortress is insanely complicated, and I have played it. I have actually played it, but it's just too complicated for my liking. But this I have played as well, and this is very, very fun, and I think it would make a great series. And the problem I originally had with it was the permadeath, meaning, I have no idea how long my series could go because of the problem of if you die, you just have to start over. You could die at any moment. So what I've done in the options is I've disabled permadeath, and I've also allowed saving and loading. So I've also I don't really know what this is, but it's disabled player brain hijacking. Maybe it disables other creatures being able to hijack your brain. But anyways, so this is a game, and it's an RPG, if you guys were wondering. This is a game about the very, very far future. People have called it post-apocalyptic. I don't know whether to call it post-apocalyptic or not, but I do know that it's set in a very far future, and the currency is water. It is fresh water, if that gives you any impression as to what the game is like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new character just specifically for YouTube, and I'm going to create basically a character that I might create as a beginner, and and the reason for that is that I'm still basically a beginner. But so basically you get these two choices. This is kind of like choosing your race, except both of these are humans. The only thing is most humans are mutated, maybe because of some kind of radiation. I'm not exactly sure, because, like I said, I don't really know if this is post-apocalyptic, but I don't know. I guess it just feels weird. But anyway, so most humans are mutated. But you can choose to start as a true kin, which is a non-mutated human. Now, the thing about this is that it looks great. But, unfortunately, it's kind of misleading, because the thing is, mutated human, it looks kind of lackluster. Mutations, when you hear mutations, like, that sounds bad. It sounds like, well, I'm going to be mutated. Like, what is up with that? And you only start with moderate starting attributes. The first point on the true kin is high starting attributes. They look better. They look amazingly better, but they are not for beginners. I'm not exactly sure if they are better when you can play them as an expert, or if they're just something harder to play. But if you're a beginner, definitely choose mutated human, and I'm going to get into why. So we've got this. It's going to show, it's showing our stats, and it's basically standard RPG stats. You've got, basically what I like to do is I like to balance it out, and this is what a lot of people do. Like, I like to bring it up to 16. Bring it up to 16, right? And then I'm actually going to sacrifice... actually, I'm going to bring my ego down to 15. And then willpower... let's keep it at 16. And as a beginner, you're going to want your toughness to be pretty high. 20 is a pretty good amount. Agility is pretty good. I want those to be high as well. Let's just do that. I don't know exactly what's best here. Intelligence is is pretty good. So let me just carefully explain these because I may have just grazed over them as I was just explaining them. Strength is the damage that you do, essentially, in melee. And if you have higher strength, you have higher capability of resisting forced movements, such as if you get caught in a web. The higher strength that you have, the more you resist that web, and you can actually walk through it. Your agility is going to be your chance to hit with melee, like your accuracy, and also with ranged weapons. And then also, the higher agility you have, the more likely you are to dodge attacks. It makes sense. Toughness is essentially your amount of hit points. And you can see your hit points down at the bottom, HP 20. And let me see, it determines your number of hit points, hit point regeneration rate, which is really good, and your ability to resist poison and disease. Intelligence is the number of skill points you get every time you level up. And also, if you have high intelligence, you can examine more advanced artifacts. Pretty standard stuff. Willpower is how frequently you can use mental mutations, which I don't usually take a lot of mental mutations, but it also affects your hit point regeneration rate and your ability to resist missile attacks. Basically, I'm basically reading off of the thing, but the ego score determines the potency of your mental mutations. So if you choose those mental mutations, like I don't, then they're going to be more potent, if you have high ego. And then also, I think it says your ability to haggle with merchants. I'm not exactly sure what that means. I think you just get lower prices when you're buying and then higher prices when you're selling. I'm not exactly sure, like I said. But then, in your ability to dominate the wills of other living creatures, I don't know what that means. Maybe it has to do with a specific mutation. But here we go. So these are the mutations. These morphotypes I don't really understand, but I'm going to choose an unstable genome, which basically means every time you level up, there's a chance that you can choose a new mutation and just gain another one. So since I'm a beginner, what I'm going to prioritize are certain things. The main one, I think, is teleportation. If you get teleportation, you got kind of like a panic button. If things get really bad, then you can teleport. I'm going to choose night vision because that's just really good. You can just see in the dark without torches and stuff. Now, I'm not exactly sure what I should choose beyond that. I could choose, like, horns, possibly. Let's see. Burrowing claws allows you to actually dig through walls, and the environment is fully destructible. So, that is definitely helpful. Let's see, electromagnetic pulse, that might be useful in certain situations, but, let's see, two-headed. Wings are useful, I have used them before. Disintegration is a really good one, too. Force wall. You know what, let's go with the mental one. Possibly. You bond with a nearby creature and leech its life force. So it's a mental attack. It's not really that good, though. Space-time vortex. You sunder space-time, sending things nearby, careening or something, I don't know, through a tear in the cosmic fabric. It extinguishes everything in its path. Seriously long cooldown. You may enter the vortex to teleport to a random location in CUD. What? That's pretty crazy. Mental mirror. Okay, that's not really that cool. Force wall. That could be kind of good. I've seen force bubble being used, and it's really good, but it's too many points. This is difficult. You know what, let's go with Space-Time Vortex. Let's just try it out. And, alright, so you can also choose these defects, and you will get some points back. The defects are really bad. The most tolerable one I think I would be able to deal with is the Ravenous, where you require tons more food. But, or maybe the beak, because occasionally you peck at your opponents and you gain plus 300 reputation with birds, so birds really like you, but you can't wear helmets and you've got -1 ego, so you know it's just horrible. But a lot of them are just really bad. You know, this one, amphibious, is where you've got to actually pour water all over yourself instead of drinking it. You've got to submerge it yourself. So you do have to eat and drink in this game to survive, which is, I think, a nice touch. I enjoy kind of having to be on the lookout for food and water. Evil Twin is interesting. Basically, every time you come to a new area, there's a chance that your evil twin has tracked you down and you have to fight him, which is interesting, but I would not be able to tolerate that. So, here we go. Now we get to choose our calling. What did I just say? Calling is what I meant to say. And the ones that they recommend for beginners, I think, are Argonaut, Marauder, Nomad, or I think Watervine Farmer. Yeah, that was a good one. And just essentially, you know, there are certain reasons for such a thing. Oh, interesting. But I don't. Last time I chose Nomad on my most recent character, and I'm kind of having to take a break from it because of a bug, I can't progress in the story at all. So I'm choosing a different one for now. But let me see. We've got Argonaut, and they do recommend the Argonaut because they start with random junk and artifacts from the very beginning. So they could be possibly a Tinkerer. If you choose Tinkerer, oh, you'll also begin with random artifacts. It's pretty cool. You can disassemble stuff, but you're going to have to definitely have some kind of weapon mastery very soon. Pilgrim is Meditate, Fasting Way, Iron Mind, and Mind's Cover. That's pretty cool, but it's just, they don't have a weapon, you know. It's, Greybeard is going to be kind of like a wizard, you know, less strength, but you can, cudgels are like blunt weapons, like maces and staves and whatnot. Intimidate and Proselytize, those are pretty cool. I'm leaning really a lot towards Argonaut. And then maybe trying to become a Tinkerer. Water Merchant. You get an extra 2 ego. Snake Oiler. That's pretty cool. Allows entrances. Allowed entrances to many settlements for purposes of trade. Starts with trade goods. And plus 200 reputation with water barons. That looks really interesting, but you know what? I think I'm going to go with something that I said before that I completely forgot. I think Argonaut, yeah. Let's do that. So then you get your character sheet, as it is, and you can see your mutations. You basically anything. If you want to start over, then you can. So then you press space, and it says, "What's your name?" And you know what? I am not going to type in a name. I'm just going to let it generate one for me. So it generates the world. On the 14th of Ni-Shwauun, you arrive at the oasis hamlet of Joppa along the far rim of Mograyi, the Great Salt Desert. All around you, moisture farmers tend to groves of viridian water vine. There are huts wrought from rock salt and brine stock. On the horizon, Cud's jungles strangle chrome steeples and rusted archways to the earth. Further and beyond. I think it's farther. I think it should be farther. Farther and beyond, the fabled spindle rises above the fray and pierces the cloud-ribbon sky. So, we're here, and basically the first thing you gotta do, talk to this guy named Mehmet, say I'm in search of work, accept this quest. Basically there's something eating the water vine, and so you've got to go and kill that thing, bring the corpse back to the village elder thing, and you get rewards for a quest. So what's recommended for beginners is that you go around the village and you loot these 3 chests that are here, because you need some artifacts for the first couple of quests that you're actually able to complete And that can get you a really quick level 2, which is really good. I mean, yeah, I'm not actually getting any artifacts in here, but I wonder if don't I start with some? No, I haven't actually started with one. I start with some, like I said, some junk that I can use, which is pretty cool, you know. Okay. Isn't this... No, that's not one. Then this is the third chest. Oh, don't open it. You actually have to close the door, because I think if they catch you stealing, then you get wrecked. But yeah, so I didn't get any artifacts, which is really unfortunate. I'd almost be tempted to restart, but I won't. Because usually you do get artifacts. Okay, so what I want to do is... This is the trade thing, and like I said, the currency is water measured in drams. So what you've got over here is on the left, you've got the merchant's inventory and the prices, and on the right you've got your stuff. And you can see their current amount of money in yellow, and then in the blue you can see what the current offer is in value. So if I choose this bear jerky here, then it's going to say 3.6 drams. Okay, so I could just buy that, and then it would take 3.6 drams of water, you know, that I would just have to pony up. Or you could instead barter and trade some of your goods, and maybe even possibly end up making him have to pony up some stuff. Copper nuggets, the reason the dollar sign is in yellow is that copper nuggets and other silver nuggets are always a certain amount, no matter if you're buying or selling them. So they're a good store of money. It's almost like buying coins. So I've actually got 2 copper nuggets right now. I could actually buy one. This beaded bracelet doesn't do anything. I can just sell it. So, and then even selling that, he would have to give me some water. But I'm gonna buy all this ammo, just all of the ammo, because it's dirt cheap and I can still get some water. So I'm getting 4 drams of fresh water and plus ammo and food. Yeah, trade complete. And all I had to do was sell that bracelet that did absolutely nothing. So here we go. I've never done tinkering before, but I'm curious as to how to do it. I've got the gadget inspector, I think. Here's my inventory. Your status. Here's my skills. Right, as long as you carry no more than 50% of your maximum encumbrance, you get a +2 bonus to your dodge value, I think it is. Swift reflexes. Okay, so when it comes to dodging, like when people are shooting bows or guns at you, you actually can, what's it called? You actually can dodge much more effectively. So what we're going to want to unlock is Scavenger, which we won't actually be able to do until we reach 17 intelligence, which should be okay. It shouldn't be too much of a problem. We're probably going to go for short blades, short blade expertise, because we've got that agility. And agility is something that we're definitely going to want to go to if we want to be kind of spry like this wants us to be. So jump into an unoccupied square within range 2. You cannot jump over a square unoccupied by creature. Okay, I can see the usefulness in that. So then you go on this end of town, and you're going to want to talk to this guy named Argive, and he's going to say, hey, I got a quest for you. Bring me an artifact. Oh, and I actually have some grenades, which count as artifacts. So good, I can get that level 2 after all. And then, hey, that was great. You may be useful after all. Now fetch me another artifact. So then, you give him your second artifact, you get some more experience, and level up. So now I've got 4 more hit points, 74 skill points, and a mutation point. Alright, so now he's going to give you another quest to get some copper wire for him. But we're not going to be able to complete that for a while. So, what do we do here? So we've got a mutation point. We can use that to level up this. get an extra mutation, but it doesn't manifest right away. Whenever you gain a level, there's a 33% chance that your genome destabilizes and you get to choose from 3 random mutations. But it doesn't say what leveling up will actually do. But space-time vortex, if you level that up, then basically you get to use it more often. But unless your ego is 16, and the lower your ego is, then the worse these are actually going to be. So they're kind of hindered right now. So I'm going to save my mutation point right now. And I've got skill points, so I can unlock, well, maybe I can unlock something. Maybe I should just save them. I probably should. So what we've got to do is, let's see, what do we have? Labor or security card, interesting. But we've got a bronze longsword, but we don't have longsword mastery. We've got short blade mastery. So we've got this, and we want to be equipping these daggers in both hands. We're gonna dual wield the daggers. So we're gonna go north, and we could just go to the world map. You do that by pressing the minus button, and you can actually, I'll do it right now. You press the minus button, and then you can actually move around. Here's my character, and where we're going is here. But I'm not gonna do that because you can actually, you can actually get some good experience if you travel manually. And later on in the game, when you don't need a lot of the experience, you can just fast travel. You know, it's not that big of a deal. But early on, you want as much experience as you can possibly get. So I'm walking around. You probably see things happening. A lot of these creatures are friendly. Oh no, Glowcrow, that was... But he's flying, and he can't really attack me because he's flying. I mean, you know, that's just the long and short of it. So we're trying to go north. We're going to see what's in store for us here. This part is procedurally generated. They have, like I said, a few procedurally generated things, and then other than that, there are some familiar places. So I start with a pocketed vest, which is 0 for the armor value and then 1 for the dodge value. Cloth overalls actually look really good. I'm going to equip them instead of my pocketed vest. Now you probably noticed you can definitely equip that thing, the cloth overalls, in your what's it called? Thrown weapon slot, and that's because you can. You can actually just throw the cloth overalls at somebody if you want. So I'm gonna bind some of these things. I'm gonna do teleport to 1, and then space-time vortex to 2. Sprint will be 3, and stop sprinting will be shift and 3. So just in case things get a little hairy, I can run away from this guy, because this guy is called a salt hopper, and in the beginning of the game, these guys are like your worst nightmare. So I'm going to try and kill this guy. Oh, I actually won. Look at that. You know why? Because he was already injured. But yeah, so we got 3 more hit points, we got some more skill points, and we got an extra mutation point and an attribute point. Now the way this works is that... Wait, is there a hostile creature? Oh, he's over... Ooh, what is this? Glowcrow. Oh, okay. The way this works is that every odd multiple of 3, meaning 3, 9, 15, 21, and so on, you get a mutation point. Or no, an attribute point, where you can put a point and an attribute of your choosing. Every even multiple of 3, 6, 12, 18, and so on, you get +1 to all of your attributes. So, there you go. Alright, so we need some intelligence in order to get Tinker 1. 19 is what we need. And that's a lot, frankly. We need 19 intelligence for Tinker 1. So, I feel like I should do it still. I feel like I should go for it. You know, and then for short blades, I can just, jab. Yeah, I'll do jab. Want to buy jab for 100 skill points? Yeah. So we're going to buy jab, and then we're going to increase the intelligence. That's what we're going to do. Because we need to get that intelligence up so we can be a good tinkerer. And we got 27 hit points, by the way. And there is a button, the tilde, the key right next to the 1, will make you rest until you are healed. And the exception to that is if there's a hostile in range, then you actually will just only wait 1 turn and not rest after that. What is this? I feel like this is Ogre Ape. They're neutral though. Can I... I'm really scared of these guys. Albino Ape. These guys are all neutral. Okay, so he's just speaking some... Ooh, E, my friend. You could learn a thing about dressing yourself. Can I trade? Ooh, I can trade. Now, what do you have for me? Alright, you got albino ape pelt. That doesn't interest me at all. But I can buy some plump mushrooms, which is good. I need a lot of food. And there's nothing I really want to sell to him. Yeah, so I'm just going to buy that. And I'll just pony up 1 dram of fresh water. You know, trading with him. Okay, here's another salt hopper. And he's sprinting. Yeah, he's sprinting toward me. I might have to teleport out of here. Yep, definitely. So, hold on. I gotta make sure. Teleport is 1, so I'm gonna press 1. And I go down here, and I just teleport down. And I hope he's not following me, because that's actually a possibility. They do chase you. And, good. Okay, so he didn't follow me. I am going to rest until morning. Couldn't you do that by pressing Control tilde? And it just rests until morning. And you can see the time of day right here, the shallows. And that's just like the very beginning of the morning. And that's like the time of year. I don't know exactly. But then you got your ranged weapon right there. And I've got a short bow apparently. So I could have attacked that guy, that salt hopper, with range. But I chose not to. Partially because I was not aware that I actually had a short bow equipped. Because you actually don't always start with things like that. Like I said, the Arcanaut actually starts with random trinkets and stuff. But you don't always start with some good stuff like that. So these are salamanders, and kill these fairly easily. Just some easy experience. It's only 10, but you know what? That adds up pretty quickly. Oh, there's another salamander down here. Oh, whoa! Yeah, see, this is why you don't hold down the directional keys. But let's see if we can, like, not die here. Should I try that vortex? Let's try this. Building zone. We're just... Oh crap. What did we just do? Yes. Oh, man. We're underground in a level 19. I think we're about to die. Because I cannot see myself surviving this. It's, you know what? I was gonna say it's okay if we die. I'm gonna say it's okay if we die because I did save it. I got 25 XP. It appears that I'm trying to like move right onto that slime, but I keep slipping. Oh well. It appears that these creatures are possibly things I can actually take on, which would be surprising to me. Oh. Oh, so I'm bleeding. There was this random spike in the ground and it cut into me. I'm about to die, guys. Yeah, I died. So, so far, this is Caves of Cud, guys. We saved back when we were level 2. But, yeah, this is Caves of Cud. And I do want to turn this into a series, guys. By the way, our character's name is Ni-Shwauun. And, yeah, I want to turn this into a series. I think it would be amazing to go through this game with you guys. If you like this game, you can try it out on... you can just search for Caves of Cud, and you'll find the old version. It's ASCII graphics. And I'll show you what the ASCII graphics look like. Let's see, tiles. Yep. Turn tiles off. And, yeah, this was what the game looks like, only in the original version it looks even worse. It's more pixelated. The resolution's not as high. Your character is an @ sign. So, yeah, this is what the old version looks like. But then the new version on Steam, you can pick it up for $10 or your local equivalent. And still in early access, but the developer, I've actually seen the developer working on this, and he seems to be very responsive in getting back to you. And like, if you're having any trouble with the game, just ask him. And he's a very helpful guy, and he really, you know that this guy's got a passion for the game, and so I'm really looking forward to the future of this game and also the future of the series. And I encourage you all to go pick it up on Steam. But I'm going to end this episode right here. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.